Okay, I love it. We're starting early. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Leadership Lab. I am Melissa, and I will be co-hosting this today with Alex. Normally, my husband Aaron is here as well, but he's still dealing with some stuff. So it's going to be Alex and I riffing off of each other today. So this call is different. Oh, do you hear a playback?
No.
Okay, I'm hearing my own voice playback in my head. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. You know what happened? I had the live stream on YouTube in one of the
Oh,
windows and I was hearing myself play back. That was trippy. Sorry, everyone. What I was saying was that this call is different than our Wednesday launch lab. This is now shifting into more leadership. So in the launch lab on Wednesdays, we talk about how to launch your business and how to hit that important rank, which is team manager. And now we are stepping into, okay, you've hit team manager. Now what happens? Now we're aiming towards the next ranks. Director would be the next. And today we're going to talk about that rank and what it means to hit director and what it means for you as you've hit team manager. Or maybe you're on your way still to hit team manager, but what does that mean for you? Do things just stop? Do you just like kick back and relax and let things flow? Not so much. So we're going to just talk about that today. And of course, as always, this is for you, this is for us. So if you have questions along the way, feel free to write them in the chat and then we can engage and we can chat and we can answer questions because they're helpful for everybody. So what I'll do is I'll pass the word over to Alex and she'll bring us into what these calls are about and what we're going to talk about today.
yeah. Well, I figure the best thing that we can do today is just to treat all of us as if we just hit manager and it's now what? Like I'm new, now what? But what I'd love to know, I really want you guys to engage because this is part of leadership. This is part of stepping up is to start engaging. So I'm going to ask you all to get in the chat if you can safely and let me know, first of all, are you a manager or above? What level are you at? What's your next goal? We really want to know what's happening. And if you have a pressing question or concern for where you are right now, to solidify the position, to move forward, what's next, whatever questions you have, this is a part of stepping up, is to start to find your voice and to start to engage. And this is going to help your people to follow you and also engage. When they see you engaging, they will do the same. I mean, poor Melissa here, right? Like I just drag her onto these calls. And I say, you're doing it. And she's like, it's a stretch. Sorry, but it is. It
It
is at
is.
first. But once you do it and you realize, wow, you know what? I actually know more than I thought. I actually feel really good about this. It is what stretches us because life begins at the edge of your comfort zone, right? We're not going to get anywhere if we don't step outside of that comfort zone. So what is that stretch for you guys, right? Consider that. So I cannot see the chat. So Melissa, if there's anything you want to go ahead and like fire off on the chat real quick, and then I'll go ahead and pull up a screen to
Yeah.
share.
So far, we have someone saying curious beginner. We have someone else saying I'm new to the business. The next one is manager. And I have someone saying manager now. I reached director and slid back. Okay,
Mhm.
perfect.
Okay. That's very common and that's fine. It's part of the journey. It's like two steps forward, one step back, two steps forward, one step back. And I think that the first most important principle is we don't stop to manage. Just because we get the team name manager, we don't manage. We don't manage anybody. You have your own momentum, your own train that you are driving, and your own goals for your own reasons. And as you move forward on that train, you're stopping and inviting people to hop on that train with you. It's going to go around the track and it's going to come back around again. And if you don't want to do it now, that's fine. I'm still going and you can always jump on later, right? I know where I'm going. So if you want to be part of that, come along. But I'm not going to drag anybody. I'm not going to grab them and throw them on the train. I'm not going to tie them down on the train. I'm not going to threaten to put them on the tracks. This is your gig. So I think one of the first most important things is to know what is it you want and why you want it. And so on the beginning of the year, the very first call I did for Launch Lab was about really digging into your why and what is your deepest, most driving motivator from deep within that you can align really your whole life with. If you haven't done that call, this is the number one thing I'm going to ask you to do for yourself, for your team, for your life, for your family. quite frankly, is to find that alignment, that inner alignment, because that is what will light you up and that's what will make you magnetic. And that's what will draw people to you and to your team. And they're going to want to get on your train. Okay. So, so important. And then it's, where am I going? Once you kind of have that compass, then you can kind of say, all right, now I'm going to aim, and this is where I want to go and why. And that's where you can begin to breathe that story into other people so they understand from a frequency point. Like, they literally can feel your authenticity when you say, this is where I'm going, this is why I'm going. I'll figure it out. You can follow me. Like, I will lead the way and you can follow me. And I'm not going to drag you along. You can just bring whatever amount of energy you want. I can show you what I've learned and where to find everything. I will not hold you back. If you want to go faster, I will toss you up to somebody else or plug you into somebody else to give you what you need to be able to get to that next level. So that, and this is what happened to me in my very first company. The woman who brought me in was actually a happy customer who I was a referral. And she sent me to the woman that she was getting that product from. And I talked to the lady and she followed up a couple of times. And I finally looked at the product like deeply and science and all that stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, well, I have a little studio. I want to bring people in. I needed something like this that I could offer. Maybe I can just have a couple of events. Could you come up and speak? She was like, what? I don't know what to do with her. She didn't know what to do with that. And I didn't know what I was doing. I'd never done network marketing before. I just knew, oh, this is something I can offer my people. Oh, this is so great. And so she had to toss me up to the next person and say, I don't know what to do with this girl. I got a live one. And so she tossed me up to her sponsor. And then there wasn't the full resonance there. I don't know. It just wasn't really clicking there. And then she tossed me up to the next one. And that's where I found kind of my home. And it wasn't so much that she spent so much time with me. It's that they all work together to bring up and meet people where they were at. And I want you all to know that that's what we all do here. That's why I'm doing these calls. This is not an Alex show. I do this for you because I want you guys to be successful. And because I love this, and this is a strength of mine. But I also, like anyone, can hide behind a comfort zone. And this is comfortable for me, strangely. And I have to get out and do the same stuff to build my business as you guys are needing to. And right now, I am actually asking for accountability from Miss Onyx, right? Who's my sponsor. I'm saying I need to get out of the comfort zone of teaching and training and get out and hit the road, So you guys, I'm in the same boat. So we're all doing this together and we're continuously building managers after managers after managers after managers. So that's just kind of a rant that decided to come on out. So how's the chat right now, real quick?
Nothing updated, just someone else saying that they're so close. But I can
So
also resonate. I'm on the same train. These calls are very uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
So showing up and turning my screen on is not the most easiest thing. So we're all in
Right.
this. Oh, we have someone else that's saying I'm manager and I need to check why it says 51%.
51%. So if you guys don't know where to find what is required for you specifically to get to the next level, what you want to do is go into your back office. I'm actually going to hop on my own. I'm not going to share a screen or anything. You guys can do this on your own. Log into your back office. And when you see where that little circle is, it says the percentage of wherever you are to the next level. Right below that is a view promotion details. And when you go there, there's a little drop down that normally will stay right where you're at right now. But if you drop it down to that next level, if you're a manager, then you would click on director and then hit go and scroll down and it will tell you exactly what you need to get to that next level. So it'll say you need to be, let me go to director. It says you need to be a brand partner. Your account must be in good standing, which means 110 points within every 31 days. That's a rolling window. You must have purchased that gold pack or upgrade to another up higher. At least, like I said, 110 PV in the last 31 days. You need 3 personally sponsored active silver brand partners in each leg. This is to get to director. And at least one of those on each leg needs to be a manager. And if you remember, to get to manager is 2 active silvers on each leg, active with 55 PV or more. So 2 on the left, 2 on the right, they have an auto ship going and they are all active. And then you go to gold, you have 110 points, you're a manager. And then we want to help get a manager on each leg to anchor in that directorship, and then at least 2 more silvers on each leg. Now, I say always aim higher because people are going to go in and out, especially those silvers, right? We bring them in with 3 and then they're not ready for their next sleeve. You want to bring in, you want to have at least double, triple that on each leg so that you're really stable. And then aim for a few managers on each side, and then your director, and then those people, you have an opportunity to help one of each of those managers or some of those managers get to director. And that's what's going to bring you further and further in the marketing plan. And really what we're doing is we're just trying to inspire people to share more products and to duplicate lots and lots of customers and silvers that are on auto ship, because it really is the volume that's going to make the money. It's not the structure as much. I mean, the structure will lock down how much you can earn each week, but it's really that volume that's important. And that's from moving products. So doing that 3-3-1, really, really sharing all the time, constantly following up and plugging people into live calls. So that is where you can find the path to the different levels in your back office to see exactly what's going on for you specifically. And I hope that that answers your question. And I will go to share screen. So anything else on that? Did that answer the
Nope.
question?
Yep,
Okay.
Maria just says that she sees it in the back office and she says thank you.
Perfect. So I'm going to go to build331.com and I'm going to just hop over to step number 8, so that we can take a peek at the comp plan. Okay.
Perfect.
Let me do this. Go here, right here. Yep. I think that's the one. Okay. So we're just taking a peek here at build331.com. At the top of this page, learning the compensation plan. I go through this every, just the basics of getting started at least every Monday and Wednesday, as you know. And so on this page, this is a really great document, by the way. You can download it here. I highly recommend that you print a number of these and you have them handy. It's a double-sided document, but it's a really great hot sheet to be able to sit down with somebody and show them, hey, there are different ways that you can make money, especially if you're meeting with people out, to get their order, or you're having coffee or a glass of wine or whatever. Have these handy because you want to be able to, on the flash, be able to explain this. So I have a number of these in my little binder just to have them handy. I have order forms in there as well. And that's really all I need to be prepared to go. Now you can go ahead and print other things if you want other resources, depending on who you're speaking with. You might want to go ahead and print out the entire Diamond book, or it's also known as the Story of X39, which you can get on startx39.com. It's like 55 pages, but you can double-side it and put that in a nice binder and have all the science and all the information there for people that have those deeper questions. It's just kind of nice to have. There's a couple of pages in there just about GHK copper peptides and like bullet points of all the things that they do. Just great talking points. If you're going to go out and sit with people, it's just nice to know that you can have some great resources with you to really support them making a decision right there. And this is one of them. So you'll see on this document the basics of the structure of how we get paid with the cycles. And this is where you can breathe in that vision of you plus 2 on each side at the silver level. And that's how we start to generate points and we can start to cycle and move up the marketing plan. And you'll also see, oops, did not mean to do that. You'll also see down at the bottom here, at these different levels is where the weekly maximum cycle payout numbers are. So if you're at the manager level, right now you are qualified to be able to earn up to $1,500 a week in cycle bonuses as your team's growing. If you have like a runaway leg and you have a lot of volume that's being created, or you have volume that's happening, but you're being capped at $100 a week, it's because you haven't locked in manager. Or if you're capped at 1,500, it's because you're ready to get to director right away because you don't want to leave those points sitting in there waiting to be cashed out. So director is a $2,500 a week maximum in cycle pay, which is a really nice income right there. I mean, what is that? 8, 9, that's $10,000. That's your 6-figure income right there to get to director, with volume, of course, to be able to cycle to that level. So really, really great to have that. So moving down to the bottom of the page, obviously there's also, compensation plan. We will go through some of those little pieces of the compensation plan, and I'll probably pull out a whiteboard at some point and really show you how the points work, like in the
Awesome.
downline, because I think people don't get that. And like I'll just start drawing circles and show
Love
you, like,
that.
it's really, really cool. I just have to figure out how to do it so that I'm not like turning my back on you guys and stuff, but we'll figure that out. If I can do it on screen, it would be awesome, but I'm not that techie. So going into the director, what do we need to get to director? It's here again is the manager. These are also sheets you want to print and have in your binder to just say, here's what we're doing first, here's what we're doing next. Because this is where you're not going to manage team, but you want to breathe vision into your team and you want to show them the roadmap, where to find it, and sit down with them and make sure that they understand it as well, because it is important. So you'll see here, director is step 2. So again, you have your 2 silvers on each side, plus another silver or above, but I'm sorry, plus a manager on each side. So a gold or above manager on each side. And this is really where things really start to happen. Now, this is not exactly what it's going to look like. It's going to look more like you have 10 silvers and some are active and some aren't. Or you might have some diamonds in there who are, just kind of getting going, just starting to kick up. You might have some bronzes in there. You might have some preferred customers that are just feeding into yours. It doesn't always look this perfect, but I will tell you that is all you need structure-wise to get to director. And you don't need to have a specific volume to get to director either, which is really nice. It's just a structure that you need to unlock that $1,500 a week. I'm sorry, $2,500 a week. When we move into senior director and above, then we have a little bit more structure, and then it's volume, volume, volume from that point on. Once you actually have the senior director set up, then you can go completely to senior presidential. Just again with volume. So really finding workers and duplicating and duplicating and duplicating, and just plugging people in and meeting where they are, more vision and doing events together, all kinds of fun stuff. So senior director, you've got a couple of silvers again to anchor in, and you'll have a lot more than 2. And then you have 2 directors. Now these 2 directors don't have to be on opposite legs. Both directors can be on one leg, but you'll still need to have that manager on the other leg in order to anchor that. So I say definitely you want to build both legs strong always, so that you don't fall out. But even like I said, if you have a manager on one leg and 5 directors on the other leg, that's great. Just as long as you have those 2 directors and that active other manager and then the silvers, this is where you're also going to need volume as well. So I think it's 10,000 points, level points or something like that. I don't remember exactly how that works, so I'll look into it.
And
Nonetheless,
the points doesn't have to be from one side. It could just be overall general points.
it's overall. I need to understand where specifically they're all fed from. Like, I think it's just within your own team volume, but I'm not sure if it's from other teams or not. So I have to get that clear before, because I don't know for sure. All I know is you can see what your points are in your back office by pulling down that little thing. It'll tell you where you're at. So that's really all that matters. It'll tell you where you're at. It's not like you're going to be able to change that, just to be able to watch it. And so all of these steps are right here. And then of course there's the end of the month options are here to really make sure that you and your team are staying qualified, whether they're getting an auto ship or they're getting maintenance kits, which I think are probably the best. You can slowly move yourself up the marketing plan, up the kits to all the way to diamond by just upgrading. But just remember that unless you have an auto ship, you still only have 31 days that you will be qualified if you're silver. And then when you go to gold, and then when you go to platinum, if you do, and then to diamond. So when you hit diamond, then you'll have the 3 months where you will be qualified. So you want to make sure you set up an auto ship or a maintenance kit to hit before that's over, so that you don't drop out. Because if you don't have all your structure in place to be able to exercise your points, your cycle points, then you don't want to lose the points on one side while the other side's low, so you want to
Mhm.
make sure you keep those banks full. So that's a lot of information, but I will stop with that for now, just to let you know that's the next point from manager to director. So you're going to duplicate a couple of managers, one on each leg, and keep building up those silvers, keep building up silver and above, more golds, and keeping them active. That's what's going to get you to director and hold you in director. So
Okay.
hopefully that answers that question. How are we doing on questions?
We have a couple of them.
Great.
So one is, can inactives become active before a year is up?
I think it's 52 weeks. I think it's 52 weeks of an inactive that can become active
Oh, what
again.
happens after that? I didn't know
They
this.
they just they lose their position. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Good to know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and
Okay.
I think that people used to put people in and park them for later. And it
Gotcha.
just holds it's just like dead space. And
Mm,
so and then they come in later when there's all these points or whatever, it's just not so kosher, I guess. So
got
yeah,
it. So
there
that
is
yeah, that keeps
yeah,
that cleansing. Okay.
keeps it clean. Yeah.
Keep it
Yeah.
clean. And then the next question is, does it make sense to enroll silvers that will stay in the game? What are the repercussions of people under you dropping out? Please expand.
The repercussions of them dropping out, it can, well, depending on your structure, it could drop your structure back. Like, let's say you made director and then one of your managers slipped out of manager, then you would go back to manager. So that would affect your ability to earn as much in pay, but it doesn't mean you're going to lose points. It'll just bring you back down to 1,500 a week instead of 2,500 a week in terms of what you can earn. If you're making, let me just tell you this, if you're making 2,500 a week, you probably have more than one manager on each side. I'll just tell you that.
Yeah.
So don't think that like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose the money. It takes a lot of volume to get to 2,500 a week. A cycle is 660 points on one side and 330 points on the other side. And all of the volume from anybody in the team below you is filling up those two sides. Everything that's being sold underneath you on your left and everything that's being sold underneath you on the right is adding up to those points. Okay, so but back to the question.
Mhm.
What are the repercussions? That would pretty much be the repercussions right there is less volume would be happening because they're not buying and you could fall back, but you can always go right back up. So continue to look forward, move forward, and keep doing the 3-3-1. Don't look back. Don't look back. Just keep going, keep going. You can say, come along, come on along, come on along, come on along while you're moving forward and learning and growing and plugging people in and learning and growing and plugging people in as you go, but keep moving forward. That is the key to win with this. If you start to turn back and try to drag people up, then you're going to get disappointed because now you're putting the crux of your business in other people's hands. You want to be the leader of yourself first. And that's what's going to duplicate. And that's what's going to, you're going to attract people like that. You will attract you. So who do
Mhm.
you want to emulate? Who do you want to become? That's who you're going to attract as you become that. And sometimes you just have to act as if for a little while, and then go. Yeah.
So would at any point, so you're saying keep moving, keep moving. At any point, if you see someone that's so close to team manager,
Mhm.
would you reach out to that person in your
Oh, sure.
organization?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Okay.
I'm not saying don't help people or plug in with them or check in with them and work with them. Of course, you want to do that. You just don't want to put all of your energy and focus in them bringing you to another level because it's disempowering for you. That's all I mean. So yeah, if you definitely, and those will be some of the things we look at, like who do I reach down to work with? Who's working? Who do I lean into and say, hey, how can I support you? Let's get you on a call with so and so, or what do you need next, or how are who are you working with right now? Do you want some accountability? Things like that. Can we do an event together? Have you been on a live call recently? There's lots of things you can do to motivate and engage with your own teams. But again, do that to some degree and keep moving forward. So you're not ignoring your team. You're definitely reaching with them, but you're not managing them. We're all independent reps, right?
Okay. There's a couple things here I have. Uh, Approximately how many people needed to cycle for 6K per month on right side?
One more time. How many people,
Okay.
how many,
Approximately how many people needed to cycle for 6K, 6,000 per month on right side?
I guess the part I'm not understanding is on right side.
Is the right side. Yeah, that's where I got a little lost.
Yeah, if you can explain, Jane, or maybe we
Yeah.
can unmute Jane to clarify that question for me. In
Okay.
terms of how many people, it's not going to be how many people. It's going to be how much volume is, how much product is being moved, always. So we want to look at, so what I can tell you, oh, leg. Okay, on the right leg. Well, it's hard to say on the right leg because I don't know what the volume is on the left leg. So are you saying that you have one leg that's blown out on one side, like a ton of points, and you don't have enough on the other side? Can you clarify that? Yes. Okay. So basically what Jane is saying is of her two legs, one of her legs already has so much volume in it that she needs to build her own leg now in order to unlock the points to cycle. Correct, Jane? And I can tell you how much that would be then. So, okay,
Mm.
that's correct. So $6,000 divided by 50 cycle or $50 a cycle is 120 cycles. Now, if you need 120 cycles, you already have 660 generating all the time on your blown out leg. Then we're going to say 120 cycles times 330 points is, because that's how many you would need for one cycle. That's going to be 39,600 points that you would need to make $6,000 in cycles with one blown out leg. If we divide that by 77 points, which is how much one sleeve of X39 is, just for an example, 77 points, that's 514 sleeves. So I'm hoping you're following me on this. I know that's a lot of numbers, but I'm okay with numbers. So 514 sleeves, let's say 515 customers getting X39. Now, when we sell kits, if you go back to the share, let me go to share. Am I still sharing?
You're still sharing.
Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry about that. Okay, so if we go back to here and we look at points, I think it's here. Yes. When you look at the sleeves that we're, or when we're signing people up, the bronze is 77 points. The silver is 165 points. The gold is 275 points. So you can at least see right here where the point values are when you bring somebody in. Diamond is 610 points, but of course it'll explain how, that's going to, some of those points are going to go over some time. If you have a preferred customer, let's say you have preferred customers, it's 54 points for a preferred customer. It's 77 points for a retail customer. So what you want to look at then is, okay, how many people on my team? What are their goals? How can I bring more people in and how can we touch more people? It's really, again, duplication. So 331 is what's going to bring you a lot of customers, getting people on the product. And if you're duplicating 331 and then you find other work people that are coming into the business and they start 331 and they start bringing in people, this is where the numbers get really big. And it can grow really quickly, but it is the consistency and just knowing as I grow and as I duplicate, then you'll be able to unlock those cycles that are caught into that one leg right now. You are blessed to have that leg, by the way. Not everybody has that runaway kind of leg. So that's amazing. But this is also, if you understand what makes this marketing plan so beautifully fair, is because yes, we do have that team leg that can go crazy, but we still have to grow into our own leadership in order to earn the higher amounts in the company. And so it really is a journey of who we become in the process as we grow and as we grow our own business, that we can unlock, what's available from the teamwork, which is beautiful. I love that. Did that answer your question, Jane?
Mm-hmm. I think that
Yes.
There's a lot of
Okay.
yeses.
She's
Okay,
all,
yes,
yes. Okay,
I
cool.
do have, yeah.
You're welcome.
She was following, she was tracking you.
Good.
So there is someone that did message me privately, and I will just say here, it was when we were talking about when you're promoting to a bigger rank that you're going to need, it's all about volume. This
Yeah.
person was just saying that they saw on another training that the volume for the promotions to go to the higher ranks has to be from your personally enrolled team. So
Mhm.
wondering, maybe we can
That makes
just
sense. No, that makes
clarify that at
sense.
some
Yeah,
point.
yeah, it wouldn't come from the run. Like if you have a runaway leg like Jane has, you wouldn't be able to go straight to senior director just by hitting director because of all the points that were there from the team. It is your organization. That's what I understood it to be as well. So it's from you down,
Mhm.
from your own
Okay.
team. Yes.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay.
That was a
Absolutely
little
clear. Well,
question there.
okay,
Perfect. That's good.
cool. All right.
Well
That's a
done.
lot.
Yes. Thank you,
A lot of
Alex.
content right there. Holy moly. Okay, so guys, I would
It's
love
a
for you.
lot.
I know it is. And I know that there's so much more we could do, but I don't want to blow everybody's hair back. I do want to know what you guys need and want. So whether you ask the questions here or on YouTube, in the comments on YouTube, also in the
Facebook.
Facebook group. Please, please, please. Again, this is not meant to be like, I don't want to be on screen here all the time. I want to serve you guys. So I want to know what it is that you need, what's confusing or what's clear, like whatever. Because I think that's really important. I'm
Mhm.
actually going to go ahead and share screen one more time. Do you have anything, Melissa, that you wanted?
I mean, I have a personal curiosity that maybe somebody else might be wondering. It's not too personal, but it's just wondering, how do you, Alex, stay organized now that you're building your organization with all your people? Like, what do you do to stay organized? Do
Yeah,
you reach out to people? Do you wait for people to reach out to you? Do you have group chats? What do you do?
that's a lot. So no, I'm actually I consider myself a middle brainer. Okay, so I'm really right brain creative, but I'm also left brain like analytical, and I like numbers and science. So I'm right in the middle of those things. I love systems, but I also love free flow. And
Mhm,
like, so I like to create a structure and then set myself free within the structure, if that makes sense. Like
mhm.
it's like putting a dog in a dog park. Like he can be free and run around, but there's a boundary there that keeps him safe. And that's kind of how I look at like how I run my business as well. I know where I want to go. I know the people that I'm working with because in general, the 80-20 rule, it's not that I don't want to touch everyone on the team, but 80% of the people are not really working and doing as much as the 20% that really are doing 80% of the work. It's just the Pareto principle. And so I will tend to reach out more regularly, or I'm in regular conversation with the 20% that are working. And so I'm always available. I'm always available anyways, but I also do manage my time in the sense that if somebody is coming to me and they're asking for this, and this, and that, and then some coaching, and then I give them some steps and they don't take those steps and they come back with
Mhm.
the same issues, as a coach, because I've been a coach for a long time, I basically say, well, did you not do those things? Okay, well, come back to me when you've done those parts and we'll volley, we'll go back and forth. Okay, here's what's next. Here's what's next. And so that part, I kind of just am in tune with that. And because everyone who I work with knows that I'm on their speed dial, they know that I'm going to make time for them. And sometimes we have to schedule it, and sometimes I'm just available, and that just works out. I used to do paper to organize, and I can certainly teach that. I think a lot of people really just like to write, and I think that's kind of nice. And I think honestly, just when it comes to you can do this for your team, and you can also do this for your customers or prospects, is to just get a 3-ring binder or a couple and number tabs 1 to
Hmm.
30, and they're for the days of the month, basically. And then just lots of paper. And each person has a piece of paper with everything about them and what they've ordered, everything except for their credit card information, obviously. Just keep their code or something. And um, and what's next. And then when you're done speaking with that person, you just slide them into when you want to talk to them again. So slide them into the next date that you want to reach out to them again, and then they're done. And then so each day you just kind of have what's there from before to follow up with or the whatever, and then you just move them to the next place, and then the next day you've got a new slot.
I
So
love that.
I found that that is probably one of the simplest ways to kind of get started. If you're tech savvy, then there's a million different contact databases out there, and you certainly can do that. I know that Melissa, you use WhatsApp, right? So you
Yeah.
have like chats with WhatsApp. Um, I have done group chats before and texts for like my whole team, like, oh, this is coming up and that's coming up. For some reason, I haven't done that yet with LifeWave. I don't know why.
Mhm.
It's probably something I should do, but I haven't yet. So I'm still like learning and growing too. So if you guys all don't know, yes, I started almost 4 years ago. And I went gangbusters well, I was actually kind of quiet because I was leaving another company. And then I went kind of nuts for about 4 months. And then COVID hit. And I went really fast and and things were growing really quick. And COVID hit, and then a lot of life happened for me, like massive, massive, massive stuff. And so I sort of started to re-engage again last year. I think that was right about when the merits were coming in, and I started doing some training again, and I started, getting going again. And then more stuff happened. So I really have fully re-engaged only since this summer in all
Mhm.
reality. So I'm also getting my feet here. Now, granted, I understand the marketing plan. I've been in network marketing forever. And so, I'm very equipped to do what I do with you guys. I'm not, a fraud by any means, right? So it's more now about like, wow, I'm a lot of doing this, not only to support my own team and Onyx's whole team, but also for me to be able to get out and go gangbusters and plug people into my stuff, right? Because
Mhm.
I needed to have this as well. So my systems right now are online. I have a contact database online, and I have my daily binder. So every night I'm looking at what I'm doing the next day, so that I have my container, and then I flow the next day. So that's
Mm.
kind of how I build it. I know where I want to go and who I want to talk to, but I don't know exactly what times everything's going to
Mhm.
happen. I want to flow with the energy of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
Long-winded. Man.
tomorrow I'm going to the store and I'm buying a binder. I love
Yeah, I'll
that.
tell you that the 1 to 30 tabs really, really can be helpful because it can get out of control when you're doing 3-3-1.
Mhm.
It really can. And some people will be like, "Oh, call me in 2 weeks." Okay, great. And then you move them 2 weeks, and then you just don't miss. You just don't miss.
Okay. Okay. So much in that. Okay, there's some questions in here or some questions and comments. Someone is saying, is my is my crazy leg something new or does everyone get that?
Crazy leg?
Like a leg that
Oh,
blows
crazy
out.
leg.
Yeah,
I'm like, my leg's
yeah,
twitching. Is your leg crazy?
yeah.
You need another patch. No,
Yeah.
is it, sorry, is my crazy leg what?
Is it
Different?
something new or does everybody have that? Not
It's not
everybody has
new,
that.
but not everybody has that. No,
Mhm.
not everybody is blessed to have a runaway leg.
Yeah.
It is definitely, it is a blessing for sure. But again, you'll still only grow as fast as you can grow because you have to build the other leg yourself, which is a beautiful thing. Um, that's what I really love. People think you can just sign up a couple of people and you're golden, but we have to actually grow. We have to
Hmm.
bring in enough structure to show that we're doing the do and yeah. So you're
Yeah,
lucky.
which yeah, you're lucky. Exactly. That's awesome. And then
Yeah.
this same person says, do you do person to person or call or letters first?
Do you mean for getting customers or?
I think that has to do with reaching out. I feel like we talk a
Oh,
lot about that on Launch Lab, but
we do
it
Launch Lab. We do
yeah.
a lot about getting reaching out and stuff. Personally, most of the time I'm on the phone. I meet people in person. I use text for follow up a lot, just to kind of get things started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just depends. It really just depends. I'm not a super online person. In fact, like Onyx, I'm more of a belly to belly person than I am
Yeah.
online.
Hmm.
I wish it were different. It's just one of those things. I'm kind of anti-social media. It's so
Yeah.
bad.
Why is that bad? That's great.
No, it's not. I know
No?
it would really be good for business.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Someone says, how often do you follow up with new people? Emails, question mark.
Um, I usually like to text a few days in and say, "Are you one of the lucky ones?" We do this also on Launch Lab.
Yeah.
Are you one of the lucky ones who's already feeling it? And then I give them like 5 or 6 different possible things. Like sleeping better. How's your energy? Da 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 da. Da. I'll give them like 5 different things, and then they're like, and then they'll get back with something. So I'm giving them a reason to answer me back, and sometimes they just call back. So I like to check in quickly, and then I'll also check in around 3 weeks.
Mm,
For a new customer and make sure that they are having some great results. And then I go into the who do you know conversation. Because as soon as
mm,
somebody's had a good result, I'll be like, oh my gosh, that's so great. Who do you know who could benefit? Because I can't touch people without your help. Like help me out. And this is what I do. I love it. And I'd love to bless some of your people. And if they decide to order, of course, we'll have a different conversation. So I do that all the time,
Mhm.
all the time. So it's exciting to get on the phone with people. I'm expecting them to have results. And I'm always breathing into them as soon as there's a result, especially who do you know? Who do you know? That's where the numbers come from,
Mm.
honestly, is that because if we just had 15 silvers on each leg with just a few customers, things start to really happen. And then some of those customers will come in surprisingly and be like, I want to run with the business. I never would have met them without the customer.
Yeah.
And those customers wouldn't have become reps had I not asked them who they know. They don't think outside of themselves unless you ask them to, you know? So,
Yeah.
sorry, let me make sure I'm not missing something really important.
There's a couple more questions here. Do you have time?
Yep,
Okay. Do you place people under people to help them get to manager?
I do not. No,
Mhm.
I only build my own team. And that's what Onyx will say as well. Yeah, always keep your own personals, always, always, always. And I only place on far outside left, far outside right, never on the inside legs. Yeah,
Why?
that's
That's what I don't understand yet.
why.
Yeah, why?
Because you're
What does
building
that mean,
someone
that
else.
inside? Oh,
So, I think that'll be a good training when we go through.
okay.
Maybe we'll do that next week. We'll go through like the structure. What does it mean? Why, some principles on why we don't build that inside. And it really is because if you put one of your personals on somebody's inside because they're not building it, then you're putting your person where they're not going to have the support of you and your people that you're putting. You always want to be building under your own people. And if you put somebody that you personally sponsored on the inside leg of someone else, you're not responsible for that leg. That person is responsible for that leg. There's a team leg and there's a personal leg. And so you always only want to put your stuff on your own two outside team legs, not on the insides of the personal leg of the people that you bring in. That's for them to build. That's for them to grow into and build. We all only build on that outside.
Okay.
We'll
I
talk
mean, I
about
guess
that
we can go about that next week, but my question would be like, why is that even showing in your back office? Like, why is that even
because they
an
all are
option?
still in your team. All of them
Uh-huh.
are. And you can still help everyone. You're just not
Okay.
building everyone's legs. You're only building your two legs. Everybody's only building their two legs
Okay.
within
We can
that.
go into that next week. But yeah, so good.
Yeah,
I'm really curious about
yeah,
that. Thanks.
for sure.
That's good. Okay. And then okay, I think okay, where can I get help getting a list of people to call or text?
Get help
I
getting a list?
like yeah, I mean, what just go through your phone for your phone
Yeah,
address, your contact
go into
list.
your social media and see who
Yeah.
your friends are. You can also, if you go into social, this is something I do once in a while, go to groups that you're interested in and see the people in the group and start engaging with the group and the people in the group. You can DM them about something that's common. Not to just like hit them up, but to start to engage with new people. I think that that's always a really good place to go. But buying a list or doing anything like that, I think is not very fruitful. This is really a relationship business. You can also though get out in your community and go to like a local gym and say, hey, I mean, this would be a step up, right? But and obviously this is something I had to grow into myself, but to be able to offer up to do a little talk. Literally, we have the PowerPoint that I do right on the team site here. You could download it. You could even print it and have it in a binder and say, I'd love to do a little event for people or what have you, or something like that. There might be other people who have that can open up to their customers for you. But that'll take a level of confidence for sure and a little bit of practice, but I'm telling you, it's fun. And people are looking for speakers. They are looking for people who are willing
Hmm.
to come in and gift their own clientele with something. So that might be something to look into.
Okay.
All
Marjorie
right.
says that I think Zoom has a whiteboard function. So maybe if you want to get all techie, do the whiteboard on the
Yeah,
Zoom
I
or
wish I could draw though, because drawing, I could do colors, and if I could draw with it, maybe that would be really cool. I might need a little tutorial on
okay.
that. All
One
right.
more question. Do you
Oh
have one
yeah,
more? Okay.
sure.
Well, Welcome, Roseanne. As she says, it's her first time here. She's loving this. Welcome. Check out Launch Lab as well, because those are great. That's on Wednesday nights. Someone
Yeah.
says the right leg is my line, the left leg is the community line, question mark.
Okay. So everyone's different. So you want to find out which leg your sponsor put you on. So you want to ask your sponsor, did you put me on your left or on your right? And if they put you on the left, then that's your team leg. That's the leg where other people, not only your sponsor, but people above your sponsor might be putting people underneath that leg. Whereas if it's the inside, I always call it the inside leg. If it's not, if it's your personal leg, then nobody's putting anything in there. That's for you to build. So, which you want to build both anyways, but in general, and I'll talk a little bit about philosophy, why we start with putting our people on the team leg first as well. There's a lot of goodwill in that for the people that you're bringing in, and also for the team leg and for the team. And so we'll talk about that next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's
I
one
think
more.
I'll whiteboard it. I have this whiteboard and some different colored markers. And so
Yeah, they'll be
maybe
fun.
we'll do that. I'll like bring it right here or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Last one, because I know we have to then have that pause until the next call. But what do you think about letters to professionals like acupuncturists to use in their business?
Letters to them.
Like sending letters to different businesses, like
I
different.
just walked into a chiropractor today.
Mhm.
Literally walked in, just, and I like to do that. I like to just kind of walk in because I have a product, I have a beautiful, wonderful product. And these guys were doing stem cells in
Mm.
part of the practice and all these other, alternative things and IV drips and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, have you heard of this? And I literally just, walked in and said, where's the chiropractor? Like, how do I set up a time without getting a meeting, without having to, pay for a 30-minute consult, right? So I just said, can I take you out for coffee? I have something I really want to share. I think it's going to be really a beautiful fit in your office. I just offered something like that. But anyways, did that.
Yeah.
So you could do a letter, I suppose, but you just show up, and that's going to make a bigger impact, especially
Yeah.
if you to sit down and say, I'd love to show this to you, and literally you could walk through the diamond book with them and show them a little bit, look at the science, look what it does. And because likely they're just going to put it aside if you send something. It just probably won't happen.
Mhm. Beautiful. Well, this was a jam-packed call.
It was great.
Thank
It was
you.
great. Yeah,
Thank you for all of your questions.
you guys do us a favor, please. Will you hop into the Facebook group, and comment about this call and any other questions that you come up with? Because again, we're showing up for you guys. We're not doing this for us. So let us know what you think, what you need, what you want, and same with the Launch Lab, because that really is another place you want to plug in your brand new people, plug your silvers in. Say, I don't know if you're going to build this or not, but check this out. Check out the training we have. It's really, really cool. Because people, when they feel like they're going to be supported, they're going to lean in a lot more to doing the business as well. Is when they know that there's enough training there, there's everything that they need is there. They're not going to be left in the cold, because that happens so often in other companies. They'll get everything that they need, regardless if you're on the team. Like most of you are not on my team, so many of you are, but most of you are not, and that doesn't stop me from serving deeply. It's love in waves. You put it out and it comes back.
Love in waves. There's people asking, what Facebook group?
What?
I'm like, what?
Facebook group.
Yeah, exactly. We got to plug in.
The quantum field Facebook group. Hold on. Let me share screen one more time.
Yeah.
Hold on. We gotta show that again. It's gonna be this one. I'm gonna give you guys a QR code, and I need you to go ahead and is this it? No, that's not
Ilana
it.
says, we appreciate you. Oh, thank
Oh, thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Thank
very much. Your calls are great. I have found my home in LifeWave. That's beautiful.
you. Yay.
Lots of love.
Here's what we need here. Hold on. Where
Can't wait to meet you all sometime in person, maybe at a convention or something.
I know, wouldn't that be so fun? I am not finding it. Oh, this is so frustrating, guys. I'm so sorry. I can't share it with you. If you pop back on here in another 15 minutes, I'm going to be back in just a few, and we're going to be doing the opportunity call. Basically, you want to go to Facebook and go to search for Quantum Field Team. Quantum Field Team. At least that's what it says.
And then you'll have to get accepted.
Yep. Request to.
You'll get approved.
Yep. Okay. I think we're good. we'll call it a wrap.
All right. That's it.
All right. Thanks. If you guys, we're going to stop the recording and then we're going to start it up again on the top of the hour. All right. Bye,
For
guys.
the opportunity call, that's where you can invite people to, okay?
Yes,
See you.
get on
Bye.
on the opportunity call. Perfect. All right. Bye, guys.